Hello, my name is Scribble, and this is the Week 4 battle for the Soul Draft League. We are playing Revius, I think is how you say it. And if you haven't seen the team builder for this week, be sure to check that out, and you'll know what we brought and why. I changed, I put the changes at the end of the team builder, because as I was putting nicknames on the team, I realized I was just not fully thinking through some of the things I said in the team builder, so hopefully you stuck around to the end of that. And yeah, so let's just jump into the replay analysis. So he brought Petrun, Bellybolt, Orthworm, Meowscarada, Great Tusk, and Keldeo. That Keldeo is Terra Steel. Alright, so notably Incineroar is not here. And what else isn't here? Espeon isn't here. So we have like a hazard stack game plan. So not seeing Espeon is great news because that means we can just set up our hazards without having to worry about magic bounce at all. And we always have our spin blocker Annihilape, which is a max Fizz Def to take on the Great Tusk better. And it's also going to be our lead here to get up rocks because it just matches up the best versus his team. Terra Steel Keldeo definitely indicates it's like a setup variant to me. Steel isn't really a type I mentioned in the team builder, which once again, because this happened last week where Steel Tornadus we fought, and I just didn't consider that. And Steel Keldeo, I think it definitely makes a lot of sense too, because it's going to become immune to poison, and that's going to let it beat Tentacruel in that way, rather than like trying to brute force it with like super effective Terror Blast. So yeah, that was definitely a totally valid option, and I think I've mentioned in a previous video that Steel resists all of our priority moves on our draft, and so it's just like a generally good defensive type versus us. And I mean, it is the best defensive type in the game, but yeah, specifically versus our draft, Steel types are very nice, and we keep seeing people bring Terra Steel versus us. So going forward, we definitely need to keep that in mind. Alright, so, yeah, at Team Preview, no Espeon was good news for me, because the Hazard stack is going to be better, and also no Incineroar was nice, because that means, Psycho Boost is a lot easier to click with Deoxys. Meowscarada is the only Dark type, and if you go hard Meowscarada on a Deoxys, that's like, it's so risky. It's not impossible, but, the risk-reward there is, you have to be very brave to make a play like that. And so it'd be a lot easier to go into Incineroar in that sense. So Psycho Boost is like essentially free, because even though it's resisted by the Orthworm, it's still gonna like do a million to it. Alright, so let's get into the battle, I think. Our game plan is the same. We have our Terra Poison Comfy Wincon, and we're going to set up a bunch of hazards and make sure he never gets a spin-off with his Great Tusk. So I lead Annihilape as he leads Meowscarada, and that makes sense to me. Meowscarada is just a generally good lead. And here, I decided to just click Stealth Rocks. So this Meowscarada could have Play Rough, it could also have Taunt. It could also be like Trick Scarf. All of these things, I was okay with. So I actually live Banded Play Rough from full. Even Adamant Meowscarada, I live that from full, guaranteed. And like non-banded Play Rough is going to do less than that, obviously. If it taunts me, I'm okay with that, because that confirms the Meowscarada isn't scarfed, and that is incredibly good information to know, because that means my Deoxys, it doesn't look like there's a revenge kill option for it. Terra Steel on Keldeo does not indicate Scarf to me. I think that's like a Calm Mind variant, because that's what you usually see on a defensive type. So, yeah, so if this Meowscarada taunted me, then I would know for sure that it's not Scarfed. And I also thought there was a chance he could just get up a hazard here of his own. Maybe he's like a hazard lead Meowscarada, and he has Petrun in the first slot of his team, so maybe he also came in with like a spin blocking game plan, since I didn't bring Talonflame and my only removal otherwise is Tentacruel with Rapid Spin. So I don't really know what the Meowscarada is going to do, but in the team builder, I did expect this to be Scarfed or like some sort of protective pad set with Sucker Punch. So those are still what I have in my mind. And if this attacks me, I'm Rocky Helmet, so I'm also going to find out if this is protective pads or not. So basically, that's a lot of waffling to just explain why I'm clicking Stealth Rock turn 1, which is like the most basic turn 1 opener ever. But there's some nuance here, because I get a ton of information out of this turn. And yeah, that is also partly why I liked Annihilape lead so much, because it matched up well into the Meowscarada. So he elects to actually just knock off me, does 31%, gets rid of my helmet, takes helmet damage as I get up my rocks. So if I had clicked Close Combat here, he would have just died. But I don't really have a reason to expect him to stay in and click Knock Off either this turn, because I assume if he's going to stay in, he's going to be like sashed or something. But I guess he doesn't expect I'm helmet, right? That's totally unexpected. So I guess he could still be sash at this point. But the knockoff damage here shows that he's not banded, and he's not protective pads. So I'm thinking Scarfed right away. And I know he's not going to stay in here because I am pretty sure he's Scarfed. Even if he isn't Scarfed, he doesn't get Protean anymore on Play Rough, so I like live a hit guaranteed. So he has no reason to stay in anymore. So I'm just going to click Rage Fist on whatever he switches into. It's going to do good chip to everything because he boosted my Rage Fist to 100 base power. And if he goes Petrun, predicting my fighting move, then that's like a huge upside. So I have no reason not to click Rage Fist here. And he ends up going into Great Tusk, and he reveals he's Booster Attack. And this is great for me. I get a crit here, which is cool. It doesn't really matter that much, but it's definitely helpful. And so this is like perfect, because my Annihilape is my Great Tusk answer, because I really do not want him to ever Rapid Spin here. And funnily enough, my maximum bulk investment actually means I guarantee live a Adamant Headlong Rush even after the booster attack from this health. It does 65% maximum. So what I can actually do here is I have a very free Rage Fist click. If he clicks Headlong Rush into my Rage Fist, then if he thinks he's going to kill me with Headlong, then I can just click Rage Fist, and with him stacking it to 150 base power and him dropping his own defense, that will just kill Great Tusk. And if he doesn't click Headlong Rush, then he's just still going to boost my Rage Fist anyway. So Rage Fist is always just going to be stronger than Close Combat here, because he's for sure attacking me. He actually clicks Ice Spinner, predicting my Zapdos as I Rage Fist, and the Great Tusk barely lives. So at this point, he probably does not know that I'm like literally max physical defense with he could tell I had a lot of bulk with the Meowscarada hit, but he may have thought that Headlong Rush killed and that I would switch out because of that. So this is like a little bit of uneven information here. So that's why I stayed in like this. But now I have all the reason in the world to go into Zapdos as he clicks Headlong, because now I'm in Headlong Rush range, and I've already shown I'm willing to stay in versus the Great Tusk. So I just go into Zapdos that turn, and if he clicked Ice Spinner, I still live that and then outspeed the next turn. So this is basically riskless for me, but I get the best possible scenario. And now I'm just going to go for a Heat Wave. It's my most accurate move into the Great Tusk. So Zapdos lands its first attack of the season and also gets its first kill. So this is the Zapdos's redemption arc, I guess. But in comes Belly Bolt to put a damper on that, and we are completely walled by Belly Bolt. We can't do anything to it. So I'm just going to Volt Switch out of there. And this is actually good information because it lets me know if the Belly Bolt is static or not. But it is Electromorphosis. So we don't have to worry about like static if we attack it with our Annihilape or something. Or a Comfy Draining Kiss as well, actually. That does make contact, so that's relevant. So I go into my Tinglu. I know he can click Toxic here, but I don't really care because I want to get my spikes up. That is like far more important to me than my Tinglu. Because if you look at his team, my Tinglu really doesn't do much. Like, it walls Belly Bolt, sure, but I can break through Belly Bolt in like several different ways, and it does wall Petrun. That's like the upside, but I always have my Deoxys to like nuke the Petrun from orbit, and my Comfy can use it as setup fodder after it Terra Poisons. And then I also have Tentacruel, which can just like sit on it for a while. And even Zapdos honestly can deal with Petrun. So like Tinglu is not doing much here, so I find it expendable. So even if he clicks Toxic here, I'm okay with it. But he actually clicks Muddy Water, and it's gonna proc my Pasho Berry. So that is a little unfortunate because my Pasho Berry could have been helpful for the Keldeo, especially because it's Terra Steel, which means it'll be weak to ground after it Terras. So maybe we could have unexpectedly lived an attack, but it's fine. I prefer getting spikes up. He does go Orthworm here, which makes sense. I don't have Body Press, so I can't really touch it. Well, I have Ruination, which will do a lot, but I don't really have a reason to stay in, because if this Orthworm has Stealth Rocks and Spikes, I don't really want to get Hazard Sacked myself. So I'm just going to go into my Annihilape here, which covers Body Press and him setting up a Hazard, because now I exert offensive pressure, because this Orthworm really does not want to switch into close combat. But it also can't, like, touch me at all. It might only have Body Press as an attacking move, but its best move otherwise is, like, Heavy Slam, and that's going to do, like, 25%-ish to my Annihilape. And so Rage Fist is probably just going to two-shot this. So I have another free Rage Fist click here. It's just stronger than close combat at this point, too. Well, I guess not into Orthworm, but he likes to just sack his Belly Bolt, which makes sense. He doesn't really have a switch in otherwise. So here he goes Petrun. And so going Petrun here is very interesting to me. So the reason why this is interesting is that well, okay. So Annihilape is naturally faster than Petrun. You can see their speed stats. Annihilape has a max of 306 and Petrun has a max of 302. So going Petrun here means one of two things. This is either maximum physical defense to live my Rage Fist and Revenge Kill, but that doesn't make a ton of sense, right? Because if that's his only option to Revenge Kill, then like, no, surely Keldeo can Revenge Kill me at this health. I have no special defense investment, and Keldeo is pretty strong. I mean, I guess I didn't double check that calc, so maybe I do just die. But I mean, at worst, Meowscarada Flower Trick can probably kill me from this range as well. That'll do a little more than knockoff. You know, maybe I'm waffling, because I didn't run these calcs, but basically, what I'm trying to get at here is I think it's more likely that he's just speed invested. And he saw from all the times he hit me that I am like maximum physical defense. I probably don't have a lot of speed, and he's correct. I have exactly 4 speed EVs. So if he's a speedy Petrun, he's probably just going to be faster than me and kill me with his Shadow Ball. So because of that, what I should do here is I should switch into my Tinglu. I have no reason to sack my Annihilape here. I mean, I don't need my Annihilape anymore, but if I can keep the sack, then, like, why not? But I'm going to be greedy here, and I'm just going to attack, hoping I'm faster. But no, he is a speedy Petrun, like I reasoned. And, yeah, so I go into my Tentacruel here afterward. So, the reason why I go Tentacruel is I actually want to get my Toxic Spikes up, because Petrun is on the field now. So, if it switches out, either the Meowscarada or the Keldeo will have to take Toxic Spikes unless he goes into Orthworm. And if Orthworm comes in, then I can use that as setup fodder for my Comfy after I Terra Poison. And, like, if I can just get a Calm Mind up, the game is basically over at this point, especially if Orthworm procs my my Keyberry. So I go Tentacruel to get Toxic Spikes up. If this Petrun starts, like, setting up in front of my face, I'm like, okay, because I still have my Deoxys to just nuke this with Psycho Boost, max special attack while he forward. So I'm just gonna get my Toxic Spikes as he is Nasty Plot. But that's fine with me. I'm just gonna get up my second layer of Toxic Spikes. The second layer is important because the Keldeo I want Toxicked, because I assume it's like a Calm Mind Leftovers variant, and putting it on a permanent timer is going to be important to just for extra safety on the off chance that I'd just like lose to the Keldeo. And I think maybe he probably should have recognized that Toxic Spikes is going to, like, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's going to remove Keldeo as a win con for him. And I think maybe what he should have done here is like, well, okay, so I'm not gonna stay in with my Tentacruel here because it's still nice for the Keldeo, because I can just like use it as a sack later as well, and I can also rapid spin the rocks away later if I want to. So I go into my Ting-Lu, which is like pretty unnecessary at this point. And so what I think he should do here is I think he should go into his Earthworm and then back into his Petrun to absorb the Toxic Spikes, because I don't think he should let these Toxic Spikes stay up. But what he's going to do here is he's going to stay in and Malignant Chain me, and he'll get the 50% Toxic Confusion, but luckily I break through. I Ruination here because it's going to do the most damage to Earthworm, which I think he should go into. If I had Whirlwind, I would have clicked it here. In hindsight, I probably should have brought Whirlwind, considering we are Hazard Stack, and that's like super good synergy with just like Hazard nonsense. But I had Ruination just to hit Great Tusk harder. But yeah. So he gets the 50%. And now I still think he should go into Earthworm, but since he stayed in that turn, I'm going to Payback this time, because it covers Earthworm coming in and also Petrun staying in. Payback does 71, which is crazy. Earthquake may have just killed. So I guess punished for not attacking what's in front of me. And it's going to proc Weakness Policy on the Petrun. So I hadn't seen Leftovers or Boots on the Petrun, and it was like a setup variant. So I was under the impression it was Pyapa Berry to resist Psycho Boost from my Deoxys. But Psycho Boost is so strong that it would just kill through the Pyapa Berry if it had a little bit of chip. So I wasn't super worried about that. But yeah, Weakness Policy is just going to mean Psycho Boost is a guaranteed kill, and I don't have to worry about any funny business. So I'm going to stay in with my Ting-Lu here. I Earthquake this time if I break through, but I don't. I hit myself with Confusion, which means my Ting-Lu is just going to die. But now I instantly go into my Deoxys. So this is a little bit scary though, because Psycho Boost is 90% accurate, and it'd be really unfortunate to miss another 90% accurate move this season. Zapdos missed a couple, but Deoxys hasn't let me down yet, and so if I miss Psycho Boost here, I do probably just lose, because I mean, it's not over because I can go for Zapdos Hurricane Confusion. I think that would be my out. And then maybe Comfy can win afterward. But that'd be my only hope, really. So I really have to click this Psycho Boost. So I'm just going to go for it. He knows it too, and I do land the Psycho Boost, and I kill the Petrun. So thankfully, we get out of that situation. And now Petrun dying means that Toxic Spikes are here to stay, which means that the rest of the game should be pretty smooth sailing at this point. He goes into his Meowscarada, takes a million hazards. This also confirms the Meowscarada is not Boots, which, like, it's for sure Scarfed. like, it really can't be anything else at this point. I just go into my Zapdos as he U-turns. I could have gone into Comfy here to go for game, but if he went for triple Axle, you know, going Comfy here is probably fine too, because I can just priority synthesis the next turn, and then I can, yeah, I probably just win, honestly. So, yeah, maybe I should have gone Comfy here, but Zapdos is fine too. I'm like super far ahead. It doesn't really matter. I guess I'm just playing overly safe with my win con. But in comes Earthworm, but Earthworm does not beat my Zapdos. I'm just going to Roost in its face, as it actually sets up a substitute here, which is kind of wild. So I go Heat Wave, I miss. So Zapdos is 1 for 4 of Heat Waves so far this season. But I'm just going to spam Heat Wave, and the Earthworm, it's just fishing for multiple Heat Wave misses, but I can just keep doing this. Even if he attacks me, it's only doing like 24. I get static right away, which is nice. That actually is relevant because it means I can fish to end the interaction on full HP. Because here I can kill him if I want to, but I'm just going to re-spam and fish for a paralysis, because if I can end at more health, I may as well, right? It's just going to make the end game safer. I'm probably going to win this game, but I don't know. It's Pokemon. Funny things can happen, so you want to keep your options available to you. So keeping options available to you is also why I should have kept my Annihilape sack around in the back. But yeah, so we kill the Orthworm, in comes Keldeo, and it takes all that beautiful hazard damage and gets toxic. So here I elect, well, okay, so a few things are going on here. For one, if the Keldeo Terras and I Heat Wave, that's going to do a lot of damage, and I just, like, win instantly. But if he doesn't Terra and I Heat Wave, then, I mean, honestly, I still probably just win. But I'm just going to Volt Switch because it can't miss. That's my logic, and it also scouts as Terra. But interestingly, I'm faster than the Keldeo. So the Keldeo is, like, super bulky. So I'm going to go into my Tentacruel here, and an attempt to just sack it off. I really have no need it. Well, I mean, like, this is what it's here for, the Keldeo, but I can't really touch it because it has a Calm Mind boost. So I just Rapid Spin to get the rocks away in case I need health on Zapdos or something. I just Surf for a little bit of chip. If this was Calm Mind Rest, I guess I could have lost to this, but there's no way that set was coming into me. I just go Zapdos because I can't miss with Volt Switch, and then that's going to position me to get a free switch to Comfey as Meowscarada comes back in, take the hazard damage, and I can just Terra and get priority Draining Kiss, kill the Meowscarada, and we win 3-0. So, very nice. Pretty clean. The plan worked as intended. We got all our hazards up, and we prevented the spin with Great Tusk. And that happened very early in the game, which was nice. I am glad I brought Toxic Spikes, because that Terra Steel Keldeo could have been a real threat. After the game, he showed me that the last move was Taunt, and that makes a lot of sense. Because you go Terra Steel to be immune to the Tentacruel's poison moves. You have a ton of physical defense, so Tentacruel's, like, I don't even know if it gets Liquidation. I think it does. But, like, its physical water move isn't going to do a ton of damage. You're immune to the poison move, and Taunt is going to prevent Haze. So you just turn Tentacruel into setup fodder, rather than trying to muscle through it with a super effective move. So I think that was a good set. It was a good bring, and I'm happy we brought Toxic Spikes, even though I was debating between Toxic Spikes and Haze in the team builder, but Toxic Spikes ended up being correct. What else? The defensive Annihilape actually did way better than I thought it would. I knew it looked decent, but I honestly was mostly just wanted to bring it because I thought it'd be funny to bring, like, a Rocker Annihilape, and but no, I think it was a legitimately good set here because it really did not need, like, attack investment to do significant damage to his team, and it could just leverage its bulk really well as like anything else, I guess. And it was my best rocker into a Espeon. Zapdos finally pulled its weight. It got 3 kills this game, which was cool. Deoxys also came in clutch, hit that Psycho Boost. If we don't get that 90%, we do probably lose this game. So I guess it got a little bit scary there. So, yeah, it could have been cleaner. But, like, we should have on, here, what turn was it? I'm just going to reiterate. Oh, wait, no, I skipped it. Reiterate here on turn 11. I shouldn't have just sacked my Annihilape like this. Like, Tinglu is so free. I have no reason not to go Tinglu, and then I can keep my Annihilape for, like anything else, I guess. Yeah. So, pretty good game. I think the major lesson to take away from this is, or at least for our draft specifically, we need to, I think, no matter what, we need to consider Terra Steel in the team builder, like, no matter what the Pokemon is, because everyone keeps bringing Terra Steel, and it's getting on my nerves, so we need to think about Terra Steel a little more. That is a little ironic, because I believe we play Soul next week, who has Ogerpon Wellspring as his Terra Captain, and that cannot be a Steel type, so maybe we won't have to worry about that, but maybe his secondary Terra Captain will become a Steel type and sweep us. I don't know. That's an Iron Thorns, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So, is there anything else? I guess the game didn't play out exactly as I thought it would, because our Comfey didn't really do much until the end. But like I said, I probably could have gone into it on, what was it, here? yeah, on the Meowscarada, I could have just gone Comfy, but I was just being overly cautious. But if I go Comfy here, it probably just wins. So, yes, Comfy did basically just win this game, even though it only got 1 kill and came out in the last turn of battle. But it was a good set. And yeah, I believe that will be that. So thank you for watching, and I will see you for the next week's team builder, which is versus Soul, the person running this league. So I will see you for that. Bye bye.